Hi readers, it's Miss Preston. Today I'm going to read a story called Koala Lou by Mem Fox and illustrated by Pamela Lofts. Here's Koala Lou. There was once a baby koala so soft and round that all who saw her loved her. Her name was Koala Lou. The emu loved her, the platypus loved her, and even tough little Koala Claus next door loved her. But it was her mother who loved her most of all. 100 times a day she would laugh and shake her head and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." There's her mom holding her. And there they are. Whenever she stretched in the early morning sun, or climbed a gum tree, or bravely went down the path all by herself, her mother would smile and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." The years passed and the other koalas were born, brothers and sisters for Koala Lou. Soon her mother was so busy she didn't have time to tell Koala Lou that she loved her, although of course she did. I bet some of you can relate, having brothers and sisters and then your parents get too busy. Every night she curled up under the stars. As she curled up under the stars, Koala Lou thought about the times when her mother had looked at her and said, "Koala Lou, I do love you," and she longed for her to say it again. One night Koala Lou had a splendid idea. Preparations had begun for the Bush Olympics. She would enter the Olympics. She would compete in the gum tree climbing event, and she would win, and her mother would fling her arms around her neck and say, "Koala Lou, I do love you." So we have a few words in there. We have the word splendid, which means like a really good, so it says a splendid idea, so a really good idea, or thinking that it's an awesome thing, I guess. Preparations are things you need to do to prepare. So if you're going to the beach, you need to get ready by packing a towel and sunscreen, a bathing suit. So those are your preparations. The other word is compete. I think you all probably know what compete means. That means that you're doing something to go against somebody else, but not in a bad way, like trying to win something. And usually it's like a contest or a game or something like that. I think I showed you the picture of the apple. Koala Lou began her training right away. She jogged and puffed and lifted weights and panted. She hung from a branch with one claw and at a time until she ate. She did push-ups till her stomach hurt, and last of all she climbed the tallest tree that she could find, over and over and over again. So these are her preparations to compete in the contest. Sometimes her mother would watch her and ask, "How are you doing, Blossom?" "Fine, just fine," Koala Lou would reply. So here's her mom with her siblings. And there's Koala Lou on top of the tree talking to her mom. At last, the day of the Bush Olympics arrived. Look at all the animals in there. Dress-up clothes. Koala Claus had also entered the gum climbing event, and everyone knew how fast she was. But Koala Lou wasn't scared. She saw her mother in the crowd and imagined her saying, "Koala Lou, I do love you," her heart filled with hope. So there they are. And there's Koala Lou's mom with all the siblings in the crowd. It was Koala Claus who went first. Her climb was a record-breaking 22 meters and 70 seconds flat. The spectators whistled and cheered and wildly waved their party hats. Here they are. The spectators are the people watching. Usually you think of spectators like at a sports game or a competition, something like that. Can I do better than that? Wondered Koala Lou. I must. As she stepped toward the tree, a hush fell over the crowd. On your mark, said the kookaburra. Get set, go! And a kookaburra is a type of bird, and that's the kookaburra. You may have noticed that all of these animals in this book are animals that are found in a special place called Australia. And it is an island and a continent. And it has some special animals, which is really cool. The word hush means like silence fell, so they could hear the ready, set, go. Koala Lou leapt onto the tree. Up and up and up she climbed, higher and higher and higher, faster and faster and faster until there she was, right at the top. The spectators roared and clapped and stamped their feet. There's the crowd. And there's Koala Lou. But she wasn't fast enough. In spite of all her training and all her hoping, it was Koala Claus who won the gum tree climbing. Koala Lou came in second. Koala Lou went off and hid. She heard the shouts of the Bush Olympics and cried her heart out. So that must have been really disappointing for something that she had hoped to win. She did not win. And now she's feeling really disappointed. When the first stars of evening appeared in the sky, Koala Lou crept home through the dark and up into the gum tree. Her mother was waiting for her. Before she could say a word, her mother had flung her arms around her neck and said, Koala Lou, I do love you. I always have and I always will. And she hugged her for a very long time. So did Koala Lou's mother care that she didn't win? No. She still loved her all the same. And that's the end. Oh, and I didn't tell you about what flung meant. So flung is like to throw something, and when she's saying she flung her arms around her, so she's throwing her arms around her. But you could fling like a ball or anything that you're throwing. I hope you enjoyed that story. Bye.